Kia ora. Kia ora, everyone. It's so funny listening to this because we had to write them ourselves, so awkward. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for having me here. It's such an honor. It's quite scary and nerve-wracking to go after all these amazing speakers, but please bear with me. I know it's been a big evening. Just 5 to 7 minutes. I'll try. Cool. So what I wanted to talk to you today about is not actually my journey in UX or product or anything. What I want to talk about is imposter syndrome, or feeling like you are, and everyone's nodding, yeah. Feeling like everyone else is having better conversations than you are, and everyone else has better lives, or doing some more important stuff. That's something that I've been thinking for a while and kind of talking to people about it. So I'm gonna go on. I'm a gift person. I'm gonna go on a limb here and assume that since you're all guys here, you really want to contribute to the world. You want to bring the value, whether it's through tech, whether it's through teams, collaboration, but having that priority or value up there is important and it's awesome. And what happens to us when we start sort of going out and thinking, cool, okay, so I want to contribute to the world, or I want to do some great work. You start going out to people, you start going to events like this, to meetups, listening to podcasts, reading books, following the inspirational people. And inevitably what happens, we start comparing ourselves. And obviously you might be talking to mentoring a student, and that's like a big thing, and you're really happy about it and doing lots of work, and then you go to an event like this and someone else talks about how they founded a 1,500 student mentorship program and now they teach kids how to code and stuff, and it's like, oh, someone is doing better than me. And we keep comparing ourselves to everyone else around us, which is not obviously really helpful. People run bigger non-for-profits than us. People run bigger companies or seem like they're doing more important stuff. I think there are two factors to it. One is because we don't know their journey or something that is kind of like uncharted territory, it seems like they're doing better, or it seems like they know better or they do more valuable work, which is actually not really true because, me doing biomedical degree, for example, people who did biomedical degree with me were like, yeah, this is biomedicine. People who didn't, they're like, whoa, biomedicine, what do you do? And vice versa, right? So you have knowledge in your field and you know your work. People don't know your work, so they think the same thing about you. So it's kind of good to acknowledge that. And the second thing is, I guess, we're living in 7 billion people around us. Someone will do better than you. There will be people who run bigger companies, have more money, help more kids. It's just a fact. And I guess acknowledging those two things, that you don't know the journey and that there are people who are better than you, it's good two things to acknowledge. So if we're all happy with that, it's kind of two. Oh yeah, when you go to an event and it's like I love gifts. When you go to an event and someone else is speaking and you're like, oh, how old are they? And you count back the age and you're like, okay, I have like 5 years. That's totally fine. You can relax. I was like, oh, they're younger than me. Fuck. No kids can swear. Sorry. So it's just it's not helpful because again you don't know their journey, and also someone else will do better. So what I found helpful, thinking about this and talking to people and just really pondering why we feel like this and what can help. There's sort of 3 things that stood out for me, and one was put your hand up if you don't really know sometimes what you're doing or you sometimes feel lost. Yeah, it's really cool, right? It's like kind of empowering if you look around. Everyone put their hand up, almost everyone. Some people have their shit together. It's really nice to know that, right? It's like a really simple thing, but when everyone feels a bit like an imposter and no one is an imposter, when you sort of realize that people who you spoke to just before at the networking or speakers here, we had some amazing speakers, and they say, yeah, sometimes I might feel lost. That's awesome. You're like, cool, we're all the same, and we had this message before as well. Second thing is proclaiming to yourself that why you're doing things is important, not the what you're doing. The whole comparison happens when you think someone else is doing more, helping more kids or teaching more students or doing whatever more. But if you come from just the why and you feel like, well, I want to contribute or I want to do a good thing in the world, or even if you come out today and made one person smile, you've achieved your values and you've kind of lived up to what you set out to do, which is really cool already. So again, and if we keep comparing ourselves on the what, there's just a never-ending game. But if you think, wow, this is my value, that's where I'm coming from, cool. Now I made one person smile. I made, I hugged someone today. Someone else had a good day because I said something. Like that's what's important. And the last thing, I guess, I have really felt, like I saw this online, be who you needed when you were younger. And when I say younger, I don't mean just the age, but when you were in a different situation, like, for example, when, either it's a career ladder or family situation, when you were in that, if you just remember how other people felt there, like how when you started a company, or when you've seen, when you were younger and you were a student and you really struggled, or when you were just starting out and you were kind of lost in the world. Having that thinking and being like, cool, I want to be that person that they needed. And whether, again, as I said before, it's a hug, or it's an advice, or just going out and saying, hey, I also don't know, that's kind of cool. So to end my presentation, when, 10 years ago, or 5 years ago, or last weekend, or yesterday, what I needed is just someone to stand out, say, I'm really passionate, I really want to make a change in the world, I'm also lost, I also don't know what I'm doing sometimes, and that's cool. Thank you.